This is 2K Sports broadcasting from Sacramento as the Kings take it to the hardwood. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, Marcus Thornton.
Oh, he's explosive, Kevin. I mean, a lot of time, all it takes is a basket or two to really get his motor running. And suddenly, he becomes almost impossible to handle.
And what I love about watching him play, Steve, is his terrific agility and body control. Even with the multiple defenders closing in, he contorts his body at angles that really give him a chance to make shots from weird positions all the time.
Looking at Sacramento, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Nets.
And it wasn't just bad shooting. I mean, they weren't getting good looks. The offense wasn't clicking, no ball movement, very stagnant performance.
Yeah, I agree. The reason for that, I think, was their movement away from the ball. Not very crisp. Well, the business of the NBA in pretty good stead. The Kings sold back in May for a record price of $525 million, and the Seattle group had offered even more. Team value is certainly on the rise around the league. Better arenas, more lucrative TV contracts. Part of the reason that's the case.
Now here's West. Monroe dishes to West. 6 on the shot. The rim is shaken.
Now that was pretty. That was just a nice-looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
Yeah, no question, Kevin. Great awareness and terrific finish.
I think Greg Monroe offers a lot for a team. I mean, he's a big man who can pass and shoot at a high level. But the one thing he doesn't do is really protect the rim. He's not a shot blocker in the traditional sense of the word.
Thornton against West. And Thornton kicks to Landry. Shoots it. Misses off the right height. And the Pistons with possession here. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
Yeah, they gave away a lot of points at the free throw line in that game. Maybe it was being on the road. Maybe they were just out of sync, but something had them rattled.
Steve, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but clearly the misses from the stripe had an impact.
And the basket by Thornton.
And with the defense playing that well, the double clutch was the only way he was going to get that ball off.
Going back to Greg Monroe in Detroit, not a big leaper or shot blocker, but they drafted Andre Drummond, number 9 overall last year. They should be making a very nice pairing for a long time.
Well, you think about Drummond, a super athlete, shot blocker. Greg Monroe with his terrific skill level. Really does seem like Detroit has found its front court tandem for the next decade.
And in the first, a little over a minute and a half in. Jennings off a pick from West. Jennings passes to West. Out to Smith. From downtown. The shot's good on the assist by West.
Looked like there was a little confusion there as to who was supposed to be guarding him.
Now, here's Thomas. 11 points for him in that last game against Brooklyn. Here's Salmons. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper.
That was an outstanding pick that gave him the room to bury the jump shot. Underrated, but not undervalued.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, thank you. I spoke with the Pistons head coach for just a bit. He told me that he's looking forward to this matchup. Their first look at this team so far this season. He said they'll look to play up defensively. As usual, their length and shot blocking a great deterrent inside. Kevin?
Great, Doris. Thank you. It's not too uncommon to have that defensive focus being foremost in the game plan, is it?
Well, that's who they are, Kevin. That's their identity as a ball club. And so every game they start out thinking, let's shut the opponent down.
And not with just any kind of defense, guys. I mean, they want to get up into you, nose-to-nose, aggressive, in-your-face defense.
Now, here is Smith after the miss from Salmons. Monroe sets a screen for West with the lead pass. And Monroe, the bucket on the assist by West. Monroe's got his first basket.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
The Kings trail by 5.
Mike Malone, the new head coach of the Sacramento Kings, son of a former NBA coach. Mike has been credited with helping teams improve their defenses, whether it was in New Orleans with Chris Paul, last season with Golden State, but Malone very well regarded in NBA coaching circles.
Now, here's Thomas. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
First quarter play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Kicks to West. Smith with a screen on Thornton. And West backs in. Pass to Smith. Shot clock at 6. It's West with the drop. And it's Smith finishing it off.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
And the Sacramento team, Clark, not without offensive talent, but their defense has been their shortcoming.
And that's the area they've got to ramp up and improve. And Coach Malone is going to have an opportunity to put his stamp on this team by improving them at the defensive end of the floor.
Smith on the wing. West inside. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And the shot is good.
So nice to have a guy like that who can take charge at any time.
Yeah, so many of his passes, Steve, have led directly to baskets.
Now, here's Thornton. He had a 30-point outing the last game against Brooklyn.
Yeah, they couldn't stop him. I mean, they kept sending him to the line over and over again because, you know, when you can't stop a guy, you got to foul him. That's what they did.
Now, here is Smith after the miss from Thornton. And Monroe backs in. No good. Nice D from Cousins. The Kings trailed by 3. And the basket by Thornton. Thornton's got 7 points.
I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly a mistake by the defense.
Well, you take a look at West. Big donation from him to medical research, something that seems to be near and dear, Clark, to his heart.
Yeah, you hear so often about some of the knucklehead, brain-neutral things that athletes can do. Well, this is something that deserves a lot more attention. It should be blared in big font print and all across the cyberspace world. Who knows what the extra funding can do for medicine? So hats off to him.
Yeah, but you know, guys, I mean, the negative stuff makes for much better copy than the positive stuff. So, Kevin, I'm glad you brought this up. This is a really nice story.
Sacramento's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Thomas off a pick from Landry. It's Salmon's on the wing. Back to Thomas. There's the pass to Thornton. He feeds it to Thomas. Shot clock at 5. And another 3 for Sacramento.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Jennings kicks it to West. It's back to Jennings. West up on top. The drive by Smith. West outside. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. There's Jennings at the 3. And again, it's the Pistons missing. Sacramento's gone 3 of 3 from deep. 9 points rung up from outside here in the first. He kicks it to Thomas. The feed to Thornton. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. Thornton's got 9.
Beautiful finger roll to cap head drive off. He knows how to finish with some flair and flavor, guy.
Jennings dishes to West. It's back to Jennings. Detroit, no good that time either.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, he had a really good look. I mean, he'll knock that down more often than not. And no excuses there. Got a really good look at the basket after being freed up by the pick.
We say it all the time. The execution was excellent. The result not as good, but good ball movement anyway.
Sacramento making some changes. Jason Thompson, he's checked in for Cousins. And Mbamute comes in for Carl Landry. West inside and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
We'll get a chance to check out Brandon Jennings, some of his numbers last year getting it done. 16th in assists. And he was also among the league leaders in steals, finishing in the top 20 in that category.
And Steve, you're right. He definitely had a terrific season when it came to passing the basketball. I mean, he was just exquisite with his creativity and his consistency in getting the ball to the right player at the right time.
Kings leading now by 3. Outside Thomas. He dishes it to Thornton. And it's Thornton again missing.
You know, the Pistons have shown interest in signing Monroe to a long-term deal, but he said that he would like to wait until after his 4th season before putting ink to paper. Might be in his best interest to do that. He's a promising young player.
And it's Marcus. Here's West. He's coming off a 28-point game against Golden State. Gives him the lead pass. Monroe with it. Now guarded by Outlaw. It's Bynum with the drive. Stolen by Landry. And Detroit looking at who they've got. West in its small forward. Craig Monroe is out there with the left throw. Then there's Jennings. And it's Bynum in at the point. West outside. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Great D that time from Outlaw. And Greg Monroe, the number 7 pick back in 2010. You redo that draft, he could have been the top pick, number 2, number 3 right in that area.
Yeah, great pickup for Detroit. I mean, you think about what he does for this team. Got a triple-double last season. First Piston player, in fact, in 8 years to do that. I think he's got the potential to be a 20-10 guy with great assists for a long time.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats here for Sacramento?
Well, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break. Well, I tell you what, Isaiah Thomas, guys, was the last pick of the second round, 60th overall his draft here, but he has been terrific, can pass and score, and has stepped into the starting point guard role for the Kings and showed he belonged.
Going back to Isaiah Thomas and the Kings, they really needed a true point guard to set the table for everybody. His emergence was a pretty nice story for this team.
Well, he's always been doubted because he's only 5'9", and he wasn't drafted high, wasn't recruited that heavily, but I think he's demonstrated that he can hold his own with the best in this league.
Here's Smith. Lays it up and banks it in. Smith's got 14.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Vasquez kicks to Thompson. Lets it go from 11. It's rebounded by West. The Pistons leading. Clark, this is the first they're seeing of Sacramento.
This might not be a marquee matchup by NBA standards, but it holds, I think, a little bit of appeal. They split this season series a year ago.
Here's Siva. Clock at 6. It's West with the drive. It's stolen by Salmons. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. Let's give a look now at the 2K leaderboard to see who led the league in assists last year. You look at Vasquez, 3rd in assists and a great leader.
He was one of the best distributors of the basketball all season long and was really one of his team's bright spots a year ago.
Greg Monroe, he's checked in for Detroit. And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Hey, Kevin. Jay in that last game against the Warriors had a huge game. He ended with 28 points, and in addition to his scoring, he also came away with a season high for rebounds. It was the kind of game that coaches love because he was a big factor in every play, it seemed.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And it's time to bring you the halftime report on 2K Sports. The Detroit Pistons are ahead against Sacramento. It's been a tough start for them this season, looking to make up some ground here tonight. Josh Smith has been clicking through the first 2. He's up to 14 points, been outstanding on the defensive side of the court as well, gotten the job done on the glass too. And doing their best to stay alive, the Sacramento Kings. Active hands is the way you describe their play, getting a good amount of steals. They're playing up defensively and picking them off. The first half performance of Isaiah Thomas, just terrific. He's got a dozen points, and on the defensive side of the floor, he's definitely been contributing with some focused defensive work. And that's going to do it. We'll send you back to the game in Sacramento. 3rd quarter coming up next.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Sacramento, Landry and Cousins patrol the paint. Thomas and Thornton pairing up in the back, and it's Salmons in at the 3 spot.
Well, he actually did a nice job there reading how that shot was going to come off the rim perfectly. I mean, that can make up for any height disadvantage. One of the problems for the Pistons last season was they always seemed to come out after halftime flat. Just couldn't sustain the kind of intensity and focus needed to win consistently. That was a big part of why they had such a tough year.
Here's Jennings. Pass to West. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. Urebko kicks it to West. West off the bit from Urebko. Outside Jennings. Fires the 3. Jennings can't get that one to fall. Well, going back to the Pistons, the third quarter for them was by far their worst scoring quarter. Several points lower than any other quarter they played in, and with the sample size you get over the course of a season, that is no accident.
Well, you know, what you think about now with a team like this is that if it's young, maybe they're not used to the tweaks and the adjustments that other teams are making at them over the halftime break. So this is an area for improvement for this Detroit team.
Now the dish to Thornton. Landry with a screen for Thornton. Buries it from 3-point range. Thornton's got 7 points here in this quarter.
That's 4 straight from the field, guys. Off to a quick start this third quarter.
Jennings kicks it to West. He passes to Monroe. Outside Jennings. Dishes it to West. 6 to shoot. Smith on the wing. For the 3. Nice D from Thornton. The Kings have gone 4 for 4 from the field since the halftime break. Terrific start to the third quarter. For the lead, that's good. It's Thomas picking up the assist. Thomas got 5 assists tonight.
They're rolling now. 5 straight hoops to start this quarter.
Monroe with a screen on Thornton. It's West with the drive.
Oh, get it! Oh, watch out now. I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. I mean, just let him go. Who cares?
And it's the Kings with the ball. It's a 1-point game. Thomas against Jennings. Thomas passes to Thornton. Feeds to Cousins. Outside Thomas. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And the layup falls. Thomas got 14 points for the game.
How about that, going up strong? I mean, he doesn't care how much height he's giving up. It's attitude with him.
Jennings off a pick from West. Here's Monroe. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. 12 points for him.
Well, his body control is what I noticed. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play, even with the defender draped all over him. He's able to find a way to get to the rim and get the shot to go in.
And another thing you see him do a lot and do very well is draw and dish. He brings defenders to him in the low post and then kicks the ball out to the wide open teammate if he's double teamed.
And what's your take, guys, in the hustle stats for the Pistons?
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
The Pistons trailing.
Hey, help out on Jenny. Help out on Jenny.
Jennings kicks to Yarebko. Passes it to West. Smith with a screen on Thornton. It's West with the drive. And good on the basket. Book it. West has got 7 now in this quarter. And Steve, this game has a lot of character here in the third period.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I love seeing this type of action. A competitive, compelling matchup. A lot of lead changes here so far.
Yeah, 6 in total, Clark. So this has been a great game. Both teams playing hard and really competing out there.
Into Smith.
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play.
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
Man, I like that. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in, but I'd say put as much as you can on the finish and get your teammates going.
And Thornton kicks to Selmans. Pass to Cousins. 6 on the shot clock. That one wide left.
You know, with the troubles he's had butting heads with coaches and others, you might wonder why the team keeps putting up with Cousins' antics. Well, I'll tell you why. The greater your talent, the longer your rope. Because this kid does have talent.
Well, every once in a while, he'll show us some pretty good moves around the hoop.
Now Thomas. He's got 14. Thornton defended by West. Now baseline Jay. Again, the miss by the Kings. And Clark, you mentioned Cousins' problems. There were some rumblings last season that the Kings might look to trade him, Steve, and I think there would be some teams that would say, you know what, this is a quality guy that maybe needs a new environment.
I think teams would be very interested in him. The question is, how much would they be willing to give up? Because it is a bit of a risk, not knowing exactly what you're getting. But Cousins, an intriguing talent. There's no doubt about that.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And, you know, for the Kings, with a new ownership group, a new coach, a new front office, and a new downtown arena on the horizon, it's exciting times for the Kings fans and a lot of newfound optimism around this team, too.
And the Kings, a team that experienced a period of great success in the 90s, back the late 90s and early this century. But they had undergone a 7-year playoff drought, and Steve, times had gotten pretty dark.
Well, there's a lot of change in the air in Sacramento this season with new ownership, new management, new coaching, and some young talent with Ben McLemore. So I think there's hope going forward for the Sacramento Kings. I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
For Detroit, they have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line.
Well, you look at last season's numbers, guys. Down below 70% as a team from the line.
And, you know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
Man, he has been their unquestioned leader offensively this quarter.
Jennings dishes to West. It's back to Jennings. West outside. Excellent D there from Thornton.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
Pulls up on the wing, and the jumper is good. And now it's just a 4-point Detroit lead.
Well, you know, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. And his teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far.
West gets to Jennings. The shot's good on the assist by West. West has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Thomas with the ball. He's got 14. Kicks it to Patterson. He feeds it to Salmons. Back to Patterson. It's Salmons on the wing. The pass to Hayes. Can't get it to go. Now the Pistons take it the other way. And here is West. He's got 16. Nice shot by Smith. And it's a 9-point Detroit lead.
You know, the only tough part of that basket for him was getting into such good position. The rest of it seemed easy.
And Patterson kicks to Thornton. The feed now to Thomas. Patterson setting the pick for Thomas. Here's Thornton. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Thornton's got 28.
What a quarter for him at the offensive end. He's ignored the scoreboard and continued to go out there and do his thing.
And here's West on the arc. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Guys, what a marquee free agent signing for the Pistons in Josh Smith. He'll split minutes between the small forward and the power forward positions. But the Pistons need to manage their rotations carefully. With Smith, Monroe, and Drummond on the floor together at the same time, there's a potential for opposing defenses to pack it in and force them to hit outside shots. Not a strength with that lineup, guys. We'll see how it works.
A young team, Doris, going up tempo could help them get some easier buckets and wear down their opponents. And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there. Here's Vasquez. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. McLemore. Outlaw, the pass to Vasquez. He kicks it to McLemore. He dishes it to Vasquez. Thompson, left side. Second chance shot. It's rebounded by West. West has got 4 rebounds in this game. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Well, they already had him staggered, and now all of a sudden they're throwing some haymakers.
McLemore dishes to Vasquez. Wide open shot is on the money. Here's Bynum. 1:44 left in the third quarter. Bynum gets a screen from West. It's thrown by Vasquez. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending ball right there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Rodney Stuckey's checked in for the Pistons. Bynum kicks to Yarebko. West outside. Pass to Smith. He's guarded by Mbamute. Shoots from 8. Count that one. 22 points for Josh Smith.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. That's a good strategy when you're on top.
McLemore, the pass to Vasquez. Here's Outlaw. It's hauled in by Smith.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Stuckey drives inside. Back to Bynum. And Detroit again with the bucket. 35 seconds left to play in the third. Now here's Vasquez. Outlaw. He's guarded by Stuckey. Vasquez kicks to McLemore. Sacramento moving it around. 5 on the clock. Here's Vasquez. Cans the 12-footer. Vasquez has got 6 here in this quarter.
You know, we've got a lot of inches on the defender in that matchup, and he can just shoot right over the top of him without worrying about being bothered.
Unloads. Oh, and the buzzer beater's good.
That really could be a morale-crushing three-pointer, fellas. What a way to head into the fourth quarter.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. It's Detroit leading by 9. Live from Sacramento, you're watching 2K Sports.
"2K Sports Magazine," the latest issue, is now available. Jay, appearing on the front cover, emerging as a star talent in the NBA.
And the final period of play just about to start. Detroit leading by 9. On the floor for Detroit. West in a 2-guard. Jonas Yarebko out there with Rodney Stuckey. Then it's Greg Monroe, and it's Jennings in at the point guard. Sacramento's gone 7 of 15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. Vasquez dishes to Thomas. Feeds it to Vasquez. Lock at 6. Back to Thomas. And stolen by Jennings. And here we go. Fast break. Jennings has got it. Here's Jerebko. And he's blocked by Vasquez. And Thomas. West with the block. Jennings with the ball. Guarded now by DeMarcus Cousins. And West backs in. Puts it up from 12. And the jumper is on the mark. West has got 17 points here in the second half.
How about the field goal percentage shooting this half, guys? It's gone through the roof.
Jumper off the screen and misses it off the right side of the rim. Pistons leading by 11. Stuckey into the lane. Back to West. Fires the three. West missing again. And for Sacramento, they're shooting well. 50% from the floor. Tries to save it. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Chance to check out the Sacramento Kings' upcoming schedule. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game. And they've been enjoying this long homestand. That will be game 4 of 5 in a row at home. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. For Detroit, they've gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the fourth. A lot of misses, just the one made. Jerebko, the pass to West. The dish to Monroe. And the rejection by Cousins. Thomas against Jennings. Thomas kicks to Cousins. Here's Vasquez. Sacramento again missing.
Good solid defense on the perimeter. They're challenging the shot and not fouling.
Even the best shooters can be bothered by his defense.
I don't know that you can really show his true value in this team based solely on numbers. I mean, with him, it's all about his work ethic and his desire, the way he gets after it.
And he's really one of the most heads-up defenders you'll see, too. I mean, you've got to take care of the ball when you're around him.
Detroit making a switch here. Smith is checked in. Cousins with a screen on Jennings. Thomas kicks to Landry. On the wing, Salmons. Landry with a screen for Salmons. Cousins inside. Monroe on him. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So we've got a couple of free throws coming up.
You know, Detroit, despite how they struggled, did a few good things last year, even though they fell way short of the playoffs. But playing against the Western Conference, playing well against the Western Conference, wasn't one of the things they did well.
West outside. Dishes to Jennings. Jennings off a pick from West. Jennings with the bucket. Well, as you mentioned, with the Pistons and the West, just a 4-26 record for them, Clark, and with the second worst in the entire league. Steve, only one win better than the Bobcats, who had a league-low 3 in that category. What went wrong there?
Well, it's the youth for sure. They made a lot of mental mistakes. They didn't have that one player who could consistently create his own shot and open up space. That's one of the reasons they went out and got Josh Smith, to try to be that player and that leader.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
During that break, Coach Mike Malone had some words for his team. No surprise, really. The turnover situation was the focus. He told them, listen, we're giving it away, guys. We've got to protect the ball, play within ourselves, and get quality shots. Kevin?
Passes it to Thornton. Back to Landry. He's against Jerebko. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
You know, Carl Landry has, throughout his career, played mostly as a reserve, but he is a super sub, a guy who gives you starter caliber scoring and competes defensively on the backboards. It's just what you want off the bench on your front line.
Well, going back to Landry, a late bloomer, certainly cut from the freshman team in high school. You know the story, barely made the JV team. He didn't play consistent minutes until his senior year, and Carl Landry has become, in a lot of ways, indispensable.
And it was in junior college, Kevin, that he really found his game. His coach told him to be more aggressive, looking to score, and once he did that, he really discovered he had a gift for it, and then, of course, went on to Purdue and had an excellent college career. And the defense paying instant dividends, fast break basket.
Yeah, that transition was immediate. Didn't waste a second getting out on the break.
Monroe with a screen on Thornton. West dishes to Monroe. The shot's good on the assist by West. West has got his 8th assist here tonight.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Jennings against Thomas. Pass to Cousins. Inside to Landry. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Landry's got 4 points in the quarter. Pistons leading by 10. Smith on the wing. The shot no good. And Sacramento will go the other way with it. He feeds it to Salmons. Back to Thomas. Kicks it to Salmons. Misses the three.
This has not at all been the kind of performance they've needed out of him.
And stolen by Thomas. On the pass to Thornton. And the lead is down inside single digits. Thornton's got 30 points.
I'll tell you what, he's had an excellent game, and they're going to have to continue to rely on him if they're going to come back.
The Pistons have gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. West kicks to Smith. He passes to Monroe. Shoots over Cousins. Detroit, no good that time either.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Here's Thomas. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It goes on Brandon Jennings.
A season to forget for the Sacramento Kings a year ago. There were times they looked pretty good, but more times than not, they couldn't sustain high-level play. Still managed to do fairly well against Eastern Conference teams when they saw them.
And both free throws good for Thomas. And back to what you were saying, Clark, about the Kings. Very good when playing out of conference, at least relative to their overall play style.
Well, 14 and 16 against the East. I mean, that's not a bad record. I'm not sure if it says something about the Kings or something about the East. Probably the latter, but not bad for Sacramento to have that record.
Well, nothing was going down for him in the first half, but since the break, he's been on target.
The Kings trailed by 8. The feed to Salmons from about 19 feet. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Thomas got assist number 8 here in this one already. Thornton against West. Smith sets the pick for West. Into Smith. He dishes it to Uretko. Here's Monroe. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So we've got a couple of free throws coming up. And so Monroe nails both of them.
Can you believe the job they're doing at the foul line since halftime? I mean, they've been perfect so far.
Yeah, sometimes it's contagious. Everybody starts to get comfortable and relaxed, and everything goes in the hoop.
Thomas passes to Thornton. Rebounded by the Pistons. Uretko's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Well, they've got the Lakers ahead of them after this game, and the next game it'll be played in Los Angeles. That's game 4 of 4 out on the road for them.
Yeah, some good games going on today, and especially the one involving the Lakers. That's a great matchup.
West dishes to Uretko. He kicks to Smith. The Pistons working the ball around now. Jennings passes to West. West off the pick from Smith. Off the screen.
Boy, it's been a tough go in terms of fouls for him. I mean, my goodness, he can't stay out of the way of foul. When you're hot, you're hot. And that's certainly been the case for West. 28 points and 8 down.
I'll tell you what, this guy is just an unstoppable force, guys.
There's been nothing they can do to stop him.
He doesn't get the second one.
After having a strangely off year from behind the arc in the 2011-12 season, John Salmons got back to his usual sharp shooting ways last year, guys. He shot over 37% from long range. You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
It's West with the drive. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. West has got 11 here in this quarter alone. Well, and for Salmons, a starter last season in Sacramento, played almost as much as Tyreke Evans.
That might be a stretch for Salmons at this point in his career. He's a decent passer and defender, but he shot under 40% from the field. You know, he's gotten older. He's been a very solid player throughout his career, but I think the older legs are starting to catch up.
Pistons leading by 8. West outside. Monroe sets a screen for West. Uncovered. Good as the jump shot falls. West has got 33 points.
He's been working some magic out there today, guys. This lead has been largely his making.
Landry with it. Pass to Salmons. Feeds it to Cousins. Rejected by Monroe. Out of bounds. Kings ball. Sacramento keeps possession. 6 seconds. Just 5 to shoot. Landry with it. Now Smith defending. Takes it from 10. And here is West. In low to Monroe. Uredko. It's West with the drive. Thomas is on him. West gets the bucket. And now it's a 12-point Piston lead.
He's just been the man since the start of this quarter. Just a tremendous period of basketball for him.
Thomas kicks to Salmons. Back to Thomas. Back to Salmons. Shot clock at 6. Thomas goes in. Detroit with the rebound. Smith's got 9 rebounds now tonight.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question. And that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead.
The dish now to West. That was good. West has got 37.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
Now the story is points in the paint, Clark, and they're getting point-blank shots every time down.
The drive by Cousins. Dishes it to Salmons. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. They can take their time on this possession.
You know, guys, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, gives themselves a little break, too.
That's the break, yeah. The Kings trailed by 14. Outside Thomas. 1:19 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Salmons dishes to Cousins. Just 5 on the clock. To end the drought. Detroit with the rebound. Here's West. Left side West. Gets it to go. West has got 39.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Salmons kicks to Cousins. Takes the turnaround J, and that's good off the glass that time.
I like the way they're working the ball inside, because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots, and typically good things happen.
Detroit's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Smith the pass to West. West draws the double. Jennings back to West. Kicks it out to Jennings. A three-pointer is right on target. And the Pistons lead by 17.
Just look at how quickly their lead has grown over the course of the last few possessions.
Boy, they've really saved their best for last, haven't they?
And that basket is going to count. Goaltending, the official call.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
Here's Siva. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Berg, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, James.
Sunshine in a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad. I got sunshine in a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage.
Your teammates were raving about your overall level of play in tonight's win. Did you feel like your strong performance ultimately led the team to victory?
They were raving, huh? I find that hard to believe. Sounds like typical media-driven hyperbole to me. Who was it then? Yeah, I didn't think you'd have a name. Let me just tell you one thing then. This team's all about winning. I don't think it matters to any one of these guys what an individual teammate does as long as we end up on the right side of the final score. And since we did that tonight, I don't think anyone's too caught up in my stat line or anyone else's.
Time to go out there and ball, man. Ain't no stopping us tonight. None, baby. It's on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Listen to that talk in that huddle. He wants them going out there with some intensity. It's home to Tinseltown and the Lakers, Los Angeles, California, as we bring you an interconference rivalry here at the Staples Center. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. And guys, what do you think we'll be seeing from Josh Smith in this one?
Well, his shot blocking is always a factor, guys. That presence around the rim defensively just changes the whole picture strategically.
And he is also so good at getting his hands on the ball without fouling. When an opposing player is on his way to the hoop, that's a real knack. Excellent hand-eye coordination makes that possible for him.
And it's back to Detroit for the Pistons at the conclusion of today's game. The big story is the return of Andre Drummond from being injured.
Detroit really is one of the younger teams in the league as far as their core and future are concerned. It's always nice to kind of think, what might they become going forward? But they are going to struggle at times, especially on the road.
Hill with it. Jackson passes to Nash. Outside Gasol. He feeds it to Kobe. Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. Gasol covered by Monroe. The basket drops and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way. Pistons did have big problems getting wins on the road, and that is one of the reasons why the fans were a bit frustrated with how the team developed over the course of last year. Steve, they just couldn't finish off games when they were the road team.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. Just 11-30 away from the Palace. And, you know, when you're a young team, it takes a lot of mental toughness and growth to be able to close out games on the road. It's something they're still learning.
Now here's Jennings. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Kings in Sacramento. The drive by Smith. Jennings. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
And he will take the ball right into the teeth of the defense. You know, if you're not a big, strong guard in the NBA, it can be tough going in the paint. But for Brandon Jennings, you know, he's got that floater in the lane. And that's what's allowed him, despite his slight frame, to be able to score in the paint.
And, you know, going back to Jennings, so fast, incredibly explosive. He can really clark it into the lane.
Yeah, but, you know, he struggled finishing at the rim. Some of that because of his size. Not really a physically imposing guy. Developing that floater and learning to avoid NBA shot blockers is something that he has to continue to develop.
Now, here's Nash. Averaging 9 points per contest. Hands it from downtown. Nash has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
A wide open three. They need much better communication defensively.
West outside. West off the pick from Drummond. West gets to Jennings. The shot's good on the assist by West. Jennings has got 5.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Offensive rebound. West with the steal. Monroe dishes to West. And that's good for 2. And guys, pretty interesting comments he had after their last game.
Yeah, I tell you what, this kid has a little spicy salsa to him, a little bite. I mean, you never know when he's going to come back at you if you're a reporter. Never a dull moment when he steps up to the mic. He's going to speak his piece, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a two-sided coin, Clark. I mean, it can be good or bad. Sometimes it can help draw some attention off the rest of the team, but also you don't want to be a loose cannon because you can stir up some controversy and make things more difficult for your team. Oh, the rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Now here's West. He picked up 39 points in the last one against Sacramento.
I thought his rebounding was impressive as well, as he made some big boards, really helped out on the glass, helped his team out big time.
Here's Jackson. Left side Gasol. Pass to Nash. 6 on the shot clock. And it's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here. Kobe sets the pick for Hill. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over.
Well, as we take a look at the rankings, let's see where Detroit ended up last season. 13th in rebounding, 14th in field goal percentage. And for blocks, interior defense, not a strong point for them. Just top 20 in the league.
Now let's find out what head coach Mike D'Antoni had to say to our Doris Burke. Doris?
A lot of his focus in preparing his team for this game centered around how they plan to deal with point guard Brandon Jennings. He said Jennings is a blur out there. He's so fast, and he plays with a relentless energy. It's a challenge for any team to really keep up with him. Kevin, we'll see if they can do it.
And thank you, Doris. Here's Nash after the made shot from West. Nash, the pass to Gasol. Back to Nash. There's the feed to Jackson. There it is. It's Nash picking up the assists. 6 points for Stephen Jackson.
Seems like guarding him on the perimeter is not a priority for this defense, but it will become one if he continues to knock them down.
Smith kicks to Monroe. Back to Smith. Passes it to Monroe. Sinks that one from the post. For the Detroit Pistons, they won their last contest, that game against the Kings.
It was an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it was on the road. No question, by the way, that it was their offense that carried them.
Steve, I love the way they attacked at every opportunity. They never were on their heels, and eventually that allowed them to pull away.
Now here's Jennings, following the miss by Kobe Bryant. And that's collected by Hill. Kobe against West. Kobe kicks it over to Nash. Feeds it to Gasol. Gasol gets the screen from Bryant. West is there. 5 on the clock. Kobe dishes to Nash. From deep. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
Back and forth we go. That basket gives us another lead change.
And there have been too many of those to keep track of. What a contest.
West, right side. West, right side. He dishes it to Monroe. Kicks it to Drummond. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, you know, Andre Drummond got off to a phenomenal start his rookie season. I mean, the fans in Detroit were campaigning for him to get more minutes. But the Pistons kept him under 20 minutes a game, and when his back troubles crept up, it kind of vindicated their plan to bring him along slowly.
And he can't hit the second. And Steve, going back to Drummond, talked about that balancing act for coaches. How much time to give a rookie? How much rope do you give him?
Well, it all depends on where your franchise is at that particular time. If you're a playoff team, you probably don't give a rookie much time. But if you're young and rebuilding like the Pistons are, you give him a lot of rope, a lot of time, and hope that he learns what the NBA is all about as it grows from one night to the next.
And now looks like we've got an injury here, guys. We'll likely see him come out of the game.
Yeah, Clark, that did not look good. Let's keep our fingers crossed that it's nothing too serious.
Boy, you can't help but feel for him. I mean, one moment you're doing what you do best, and the next, the situation's really out of your hands. I really hope he's okay.
Now here's Jennings. He's got 5. It's West with the drive. Steve Nash pulls it in.
Yeah, he's surprised he didn't make that one because he had a pretty clean look at the hoop.
Gasol setting the pick for Nash. On the wing, Kobe. West on him. Kobe passes to Jackson. Back to Kobe. Fires from deep. Again, the miss by Kobe.
Well contested shot, and they did an excellent job of not fouling the shooter.
Defense is about effort and commitment and discipline. He's a good defender because of those things.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
Well, a coaching carousel for the Lakers last season. They made it only 5 games before firing Mike Brown. Then they decided to go in a new direction. And, boy, they went through 3 different head coaches before all was said and done. They never really were able to gain that consistency they were looking for.
And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys, so that's a free basket right there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Some changes for the Lakers. Robert Sacre comes in for Pau Gasol. And Nick Young is subbed in for Stephen Jackson. West with the ball. Picked up by Kobe. There's Jennings with the three. Here's Monroe. Throws up again, and it's good on the layup.
Well, his body control is what I notice. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play, even with the defender draped all over him. He's able to find a way to get to the rim and get the shot to go in.
And I also really like his skill as a low-post passer, guys. He sees the whole court and doesn't hesitate to pass up his own shot if he can get the ball to a teammate for a better look.
And back to the Lakers' struggles last season. What do you think, Clark, were the main problems that, held them back from being the kind of title contender that they thought they were and a lot of people imagined they were?
Well, how much time do I have? 3 or 4 shot clocks worth? I think there were a number of issues, as you might expect. Injuries played a significant role, but I think there was discord over how they should play, really no true identity. They were a big team trying to be small. A team without a number of shooters trying to spread the floor, an older team trying to go up tempo, coaching change, and that transition.
Right, yes.
You had a lot of moving parts, and it made it very difficult for everybody, I think, and it showed in how the Lakers' season went.
That's a good assessment.
Well, he's found his game and his rhythm this quarter. He's gotten into a nice groove.
Here's Nash. 6 points for him. Pass to Young. Back to Nash. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Urebko.
9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
Smith kicks it to West. Working on Bryant. A steal. Outside Kobe. And the rejection by Smith. And they'll keep possession. Nash dishes to Young. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. Young's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And let's take a moment to show you the NBA's best rebounding teams over the last 10 games. The Lakers in 5th.
Yeah, what a show of strength and rebounding we've seen recently. These guys playing extremely physically.
Kyle Singler's checked in for Detroit. Phillips comes in for West. Monroe with a screen on Jackson. West kicks to Caldwell Pope. Good on the three-point shot. Caldwell Pope's got 6.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Steven Jackson is out there with Pau Gasol. And it's Steve Blake. Then it's Jody Meeks. And it's Hill in at the center position. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. Right side Gasol. He's against Smith. Rockets hits. Outside Jackson. Beyond the arc. Rebounded by the Pistons. And this is the first season matchup for them against the Lakers team.
These two teams are effectively strangers to each other. Only 2 meetings all season. This is their first one, and then they'll play one more down the road.
Blake off the pick from Gasol. And here is Blake. Back to Jackson. The pass to Meeks. This one for 3, and that one's good. Meeks got 9 points now in the quarter. So, Clark, as Steve was saying, they don't see each other that much. What does that mean as you analyze it to the approach that a team takes coming into a game like this?
Well, you know what? It probably means they don't have specific game plans tailored in a detailed manner for each other, so you have to go back to your general principles a little more when you play an opponent you're not as familiar with. And you also then would have to make more adjustments on the fly, I would think.
Here's Blake after the made shot from West. Gasol, a screen on Jennings. Now Blake. Gasol, covered by Smith. A jump hook. That's good. 12 points for Pau Gasol.
Defense playing way too soft there, guys. He's just getting right to the rim.
West setting the pick for Jennings. West outside. Takes a 3. No good. And it's the Lakers the other way. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
And you just had to admire the versatility they showed offensively that day.
Yeah, their scoring came from all over the place. If one approach didn't work for them, they found another that did.
Jackson misses.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
West passes to Monroe. He's against Hill. Lets it go from 11. A reverse. And it's West getting it to go. West has got 6 in the quarter.
Just seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Hey, Kevin. Jay, in that last game against the Kings, played some outstanding basketball. He finished with 39 points, and in addition to his scoring, he also came away with a season high for rebounds. Just absolutely incredible numbers from him in a game you didn't want to miss. So glad we were here to watch it, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris, for revisiting what was an astounding performance, Clark.
It clearly was one of those games that when we look back on his career, this game will be right there among the best ever that he's played.
Well, he was in the zone from the outset. It was just one of those games where he was feeling it. Everything was going his way, and he attacked, and that's what I like. Once he knew it was his night, he just attacked relentlessly.
Here's Kobe after the made shot from Greg Monroe. There's the dish to Young. He passes to Gasol. He kicks it to Kobe. And another basket for the Lakers.
He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
Well, Kobe's never been shy about shooting. A lot of people would argue that he gets maybe a little too shot happy sometimes, but you want a guy who's dominant. You want a guy who's not afraid, who's going to fail and just come right back and fire away the next time.
Smith dishes to West. Releases. Good on the jump shot. West has got 13.
He is really having a good quarter, a strong quarter, an efficient quarter, doing a lot of positive things out there.
And when you talk about Kobe's role offensively for the Lakers, it's worth mentioning last season was one of his most efficient scoring the basketball.
It really was, and you consider the turmoil that surrounded the Lakers all season. It was remarkable that Kobe was as even-keeled as he was, stayed focused, and start to finish, he delivered the type of all-star performance that he always does. Very impressive.
Here's Caldwell Pope. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Nice work to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's obvious. Defense not going to allow many easy layups. They're going to make you earn it from the line. You know, last season, a lot of folks had the Lakers picked as the super team in the West, the team that would maybe challenge Miami and LeBron, but from the start, it just never was a cohesive group and really had one of the most disappointing seasons in the Lakers' history.
And Young kicks to Hill. West against Kobe. Latre. That is good. Kobe's got 5 points in the quarter. Clark, as you said, the Lakers had a lot of lofty expectations put on them, but you never know what's going to happen when a team is put together. And Steve, they just couldn't reach that bar that was set so high for them.
Yeah, the expectations were so high, Kevin, but injury issues cost them all season long. Nash, Howard, Powell, and of course Kobe with the Achilles at the end of the year. And that unit only started 7 games all season together, so they never really were able to develop any chemistry.
Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Detroit. There's 39 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
Way too loose on that inbounds pass.
West against Kobe. It's West with the drive. Stuckey. Dishes to Billups. He feeds it to West. Shot clock at 6. West off the pick from Smith. West with the ball. Picked up by Kobe. West. And he hits it just before the shot clock expires. West has got 15. Outside, Kobe. Young outside. Back to Kobe. It'll count. And no good trying to get that one. And a tight game here as we end the first half. Lakers lead by 1. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome, I'm Damon Bruce. A great game going on out at Staples Center. The Los Angeles Lakers in front against Detroit. Their second unit giving them instant offense. They've gone to their bench for scoring, and they've answered the call. Leading the team in scoring, Pau Gasol. He's got a dozen points and has been looking really good in terms of shot selection, shooting it well from the field. On the other hand, Detroit also been giving its best. Sitting at 500 in the early goings of the season, they're looking to get on the winning side of the ledger. A great performance by Jay in the first half. After two, he's got 15 points. He's been dynamic on both ends of the court, finding teammates, playing tough D on the other end. And that'll be our report. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope to see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first two quarters. We're seeing a tremendous game from West.
Well, he's the ringleader. And we could see it in the first half with the offense, the way he distributed the ball, really kept everybody involved.
And, you know, that's just the thing. You and I both would have loved playing with him because he makes sure everybody gets a little bit of the sugar.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Detroit, Josh Smith and Greg Monroe at the 3 and 4. Jennings out there at West, and it's Drummond in at the 5, patrolling the paint. Now West, after Jackson's three-pointer that didn't go. No good there in the post.
And they forced the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
Kobe passes to Jackson. Back to Kobe.
He just picked up his 4th personal foul, and now he's got some foul trouble hanging over his head, guys.
It counts, and the foul. That one on Monroe.
Well, guys, with Kobe, it's all about the ability to create his own shot wherever and whenever he wants. And he does it with a combination of size, speed, and tremendous footwork.
Yeah, Steve, but it doesn't end there. I mean, even if you do manage to stick with him and get a hand in his face, it really doesn't matter. Hands just don't seem to bother him at all. His concentration level and confidence at such a high mark. Once he gets it going, there's really no slowing him down.
And here's Kobe following the 3 from West. Back to Kobe. Pass to Gasol. Monroe on him. Gasol dishes to Kobe. And Jay gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But, you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Gasol kicks to Kobe. Right side, Kobe. Just 5 to shoot. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Kobe's got 5 points in the quarter.
He's definitely got that shot in his arsenal.
Jennings kicks it to West. Monroe sets a screen for West. Off the pick. There's the full two-handed slam.
Well, that's a solidly executed pick play. I mean, it paid dividends with that nice dunk.
Exactly the result they were looking for.
Yeah, it worked so well. I mean, he got set and did not shuffle his feet. Really well done there offensively.
Here's Nash. After the basket by Detroit. It's back to Hill. It's Kobe Bryant on the wing. Left side Gasol. Outside Kobe. There's the 3. Count that one. Kobe's got 13.
And they made 3 of their first 4 shots here to start this half.
West setting the pick for Jennings. Back to Smith. West. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 3 assists now in this one.
That's his second three-pointer of the half and his 3rd overall.
Now here's Kobe. 13 points in the game. Gasol passes to Kobe. Rebound, Detroit.
That's some more rugged play from them inside. They have a decent edge in rebounds thus far.
And that hard work on the boards needs to continue. That could be what swings this game eventually.
Clark, 3rd quarter here, and 5 lead changes so far.
Yeah, it's really been a bit of a tug of war. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, both teams playing well. Neither club able to pull away.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Screen by Monroe. West kicks to Smith. The 11th hitter, and Jackson with the block, but he stays with it. It's West with the drive. Second chance shot. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Gasol's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And the rejection by Smith. Right side Jennings. Back to West. The feed to Smith. Finds himself wide open and drills it. Smith's got 10 points in the game.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead. You know, Josh Smith is one of the last guys you want to see in the open court if you're a defender. I mean, when he's coming at you to slam it on you and you're backpedaling and looking over your shoulder, oh, man, that's a scary, scary feeling.
But they'll recover it. Knocking down is Bryant. Over West. And Kobe gets it to go. Kobe's got 10 points in just the second half.
Tell you what, he's made more than a few of those in his career.
Nick Young's checked in for the Lakers. The Pistons have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Well, Steve, back to Smith. A great combination of quickness and strength and leaping ability.
Yeah, he moves like a small forward, but can finish over the biggest and tallest players in this league. So, you know, when he gets ahead of steam in transition, you better watch out.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that's used to attracting marquee free agents from other teams, not losing their own in free agency. But this offseason, Dwight Howard decided to move on, turning down a larger guaranteed contract with the LA Lakers. A tough blow for the league's banner franchise, who've taken out a number of huge billboards around town asking Dwight to stay. Sources said he wasn't overjoyed with the system the Lakers employed under head coach Mike D'Antoni, and also perhaps didn't enjoy playing alongside the always hyper-intense Kobe Bryant. Guys, we'll just have to see how big of a setback that becomes for this team's championship aspirations.
Well, we'll see if the Lakers can find a way. Thank you, Doris.
And you know, guys, Nash's workout regimen is the stuff of legend. At his age, he's in as good a condition as most second- or third-year players in the league. Still highly productive at 39 years old.
Wesley Johnson's checked in for Los Angeles. Now here's Jennings. 9 points in the game so far. Puts it up. That one wide left.
That's one he knows he should have made.
Lakers have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. And going back to Nash in his great condition. You watch it firsthand, Steve, you have to wonder just how long, even with all those great techniques of getting his body ready to go, how long he's going to be able to play.
Well, last season, remember, he broke the bone in his leg that set him back. In fact, he missed, in most games, he missed in 14 years. Normally been very durable. So, you know, Father Time, as they say, is undefeated, Kevin, and is catching up with him.
Here's Smith. Steve Nash making his last shot.
Well, the sailing was not smooth for Jay Smooth last year, as he had some contentious moments with the Hawks organization at times. He was even suspended a game by the team back last January.
Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Andre Drummond. Smith hits them both. The Lakers in the lead. Here's Farmar. 5 points in the game. Pass to Young. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
And let's take a look now. Some of Josh Smith's numbers. Very nice season for him last year. 9th in blocks. And he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league as well. So this is a guy who had a lot of double-figure nights on the glass.
And you know, Steve, when you're talking about a shot blocker, it's sometimes hard to put into words what those blocks mean. You also have to consider the shots that he changes. Excellent lift, and he's really quick off his feet, so he can just about get to any shot, if not block it, to at least bother it.
And even though Josh Smith is from Atlanta, there have been some misgivings there really from the beginning.
Yeah, you know, after he said he wanted that max contract, his name came up going into the trade deadline. In the end, the Hawks didn't get any offers they liked, so they just allowed him to hit unrestricted free agency this offseason.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Detroit.
Their defense has been outstanding, Kevin. Closing out on shots, blocking a lot of them as well.
They've worked hard tonight at crashing the boards as well. They've had a bunch of second chance points.
Here's Farmar. Los Angeles with another miss.
And if they know what's good for him, that's the way they'll defend against him every time he takes the ball into three-point territory.
Well, you're right. Anything less than airtight defense on him will usually result in 3 points.
Monroe dishes to West. Phillips. Defended by Farmar. Phillips kicks it to West. 5 to shoot. Puts the lead pass in front of him. And the jam by Craig Monroe.
Now that was pretty. That was just a nice-looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
Yeah, no question, Kevin. Great awareness and terrific finish.
Now here's Gasol. He's got 12. Shot is off. Smith with the defensive effort. 3 on 3. West kicks to Stuckey. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
What a smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
Farmar passes to Hill. Feeds to Farmar. He dishes it to Gasol. Young, fended by West. Farmar kicks to Johnson. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. To stop the drought. No good. And Detroit the other way now. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And the dunk by Smith.
Nice job again that time to add to their lead. I'll tell you what, they're doing everything right at this moment.
They're playing steadily in all aspects of the game, Steve. You're exactly right.
And let's see now which shooting guards have been on target the most over the last 10 games. And you look at Young, you know what you're going to get from him day in and day out.
Well, inside or outside, these are all very reliable, very consistent shooters. You know, it's a safe option to put the ball in their hands and let them create something for themselves.
I'd say it's beyond a safe option. It's a great option. The ISO play was made for these guys. All they need is just a little room to operate, and you can count it up. Buckets.
Buckets. I like that.
Really hard to decide, guys, which was better. The pass, the catch, or the slam.
Clark, there's no wrong answer to that one, my friend. Sensational alley-oop all the way around.
Agreed.
All of the above.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Kicks it to Jackson. Fires for 3. And the shot is good. Jackson's got 9.
That was simply a defensive breakdown there, Kevin. He was all alone for that shot. It was a warm-up jumper.
Phillips kicks to Monroe. He's against Hill. That's good. That's 12 points for Greg Monroe.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Yeah, not a lot you can do defensively when they continue to get the ball inside and get these easy shots.
Jackson kicks to Young. Johnson for 3. Detroit with the rebound.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
And they've needed every one of those rebounds. I think that's what's put them in front here.
Now here's Stuckey. He's got 6. Rebound Hill. Hill's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Into Johnson. And it's good. Johnson's got 4 this quarter.
They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
Lakers trail by 4. Young with the ball. West picks him up off his leg, and they're saying he kicked the ball. And the Pistons making a change here. Here's Meeks. He's got 9. Pass to Farmer. The dish to Meeks. 6 to shoot. Good. And Farmer gets the assist. Meeks got 11.
You know, size-wise, this is not a great one-on-one matchup for him, but he got that shot to go.
but you wouldn't know it by how he finished. That's a nice hoop there.
Now here's West. He's got 23. West off the pick from Drummond. West passes to Siva. Shoots off the step back. Good as the jump shot falls. And the Pistons lead by 4.
Well, he can squeeze himself into the box score every now and then.
Farmar dishes to Jackson. And there's the pass to Hill. He kicks to Meeks. He feeds it to Jackson. Passes it to Farmar. No good with the triple. Pistons leading by 4. Phillips with the ball. Picked up by Kobe. Dishes it to West. Pass to Drummond. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And this is his second trip to the line in the game. Free throw good, Drummond. Detroit making a switch here. Jennings is checked in. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
Well, he did enough there. He made it a 2-possession game, at least.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. And that one's good by Kobe.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
And if they're smart, they will hold for the last shot.
That's got to be the objective here, Steve.
West outside. Goes up on the high post. Got it to go with no time left on the clock.
You talk about stepping up at a big moment. That is some fortitude, folks.
I should say.
The awareness, the release, everything was just perfect.
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. It's Detroit. They lead by 5. And we're just moments away from the start of the 4th quarter. Stay with us.
Make sure to pick up a copy of 2K Sports Magazine. Jay, appearing on the front cover, emerging as a star talent in the NBA.
We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. Detroit leading by 5. Nash and Meeks together in the back. Kobe is out there with Steven Jackson. And it's Gasol at the 5. That's the Laker 5. Here's Siva. He passes to Smith. The feed to West. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Smith with the basket on the assist by West. West has got assist number 8 here in this one already. Outside, Kobe. Nash outside. Feeds it to Gasol. Great D that time from Drummond. Detroit's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. It's West with the drive. Count the bucket.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
Greg Monroe. He's checked in for Detroit. That free throw good from West.
This is a positive trend for him, especially here in the second half. Shooting just above 80% right now. That's more than respectable. That's good free throw shooting.
Now here's Nash. Nash drawing the double team. Gasol backing down. Fades. Jackson kicks to Young. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Boy, the deeper we get into this game, the more offense we're seeing.
And that goes for both teams, Steve. Everybody firing on all cylinders right now.
West against Kobe.
High wire flying out there.
Drop your jaw.
Boy, you've got to be kidding me. Where did that come from?
Now that's using some serious imagination.
Man, that was ridiculous.
Now here is Young. He dishes it to Kobe. Back to Young. All alone. Good. Nothing but net. Young's got 5 points in the quarter.
Has pretty much been the norm for them. Getting their points off assists and great ball movement.
Nice rhythm and flow for this team. Tremendous communication and alertness.
Here's Monroe. The Pistons working the ball around now. West gets to Jennings. Offline with his 3.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
No, that's for sure, because this guy's too good of a shooter to miss that look consistently.
Now here's Kobe, and the layup's good off the glass. Kobe's got 19 points.
He's been much more effective in the second half than he was in the first.
Pistons leading by 6. Young with the steal. And now here comes Kobe, leading the break. Rose got to the middle, jams it in as he's fouled. Just out for a 3-point play. It goes on Brandon Jennings. Los Angeles making a switch here. Hill's checked in. The free throw drops for Kobe.
You know, it was last year, not too many people had the guts to say whether or not the Lakers would or would not make the playoffs after their slow start. But one person who guaranteed a postseason appearance by them was team leader Kobe Bryant. And he was right on top of it.
Jennings for 3. Jennings can't get that one to fall. Here are the Lakers. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Shot's good from Young.
Well, the shots finally dropping for them in bunches, and I'll tell you what, the clutch of this game has totally changed.
You know, that kind of offensive eruption was the only thing that was going to get them back into this one.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, head coach of the Pistons had some words for his team over the break. He told his guys, time's running low. If we're going to make our moves, it's going to be now. Are you guys ready? And as they nodded, he said, let's go get it. Kevin?
And thank you for that, Doris. And for Kobe, I have to give him a lot of credit for helping bring the Lakers back last season and securing that 7th seed, the coaching changes, the injuries. I mean, he almost willed them to get in, and then they finished 7th.
Yeah, and then they got swept in the first round by the Spurs. So tough finish to the year, especially with the injury to the Achilles tendon. So it's been a long rehab process. One thing you do know, if there's ever a player who's going to work his hardest to come back better than ever, it's Kobe Bryant.
It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Drummond was really playing extremely well during his rookie year, and all of a sudden showing the promise that scouts saw in him earlier, and then he had the back injury, and that really put a speed bump in his progress.
Chauncey Billups checked in for Brandon Jennings. Going back to Drummond, the Pistons training staff had found going into last season that despite his incredible athleticism, he did have some imbalances strength-wise.
That's something that often happens when a player comes out of college. He gets to the NBA, very sophisticated training staffs, and they find ways that players can improve athletically and strength-wise, and that's kind of scary when you're talking about Andre Drummond. I mean, as if he's not already athletic and strong enough.
Now here's Kobe. The open shot from Jackson. That's in, coming off an assist by Kobe. And 11 points for Stephen Jackson. Pistons have gotten 4 of the 6 shots to fall so far here in the 4th. A pretty nice efficiency there. Kicks to Nash. West with the block. Smith the pass to Billups. Now the dish to West. Gets the bucket. West has got 34.
His work at the offensive end has been phenomenal. Maybe reason number 1, they're ahead.
The Lakers on offense. They're on a 16-7 run. West against Kobe. Pass to Gasol. Back to Kobe. Shot clock at 5. And that one's good. Kobe's got 24.
He's flipped the script here in this half, shooting a much higher percentage from the field.
West against Kobe. West kicks to Monroe. Gasol with the steal. Kobe attacking. West with the block. Left side West. Buries it down low. He's got 36.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Nash kicks to Kobe. Billups against Nash. Outside Jackson. Shot clock at 6. Back to Nash. to take the lead, and that one's good. And the Lakers lead by 1. I think Kirk and Steve would expect a dramatic end to this one.
Well, 8 lead changes would have you thinking that would be the case.
Yeah, both teams really competing, neither side giving any ground. This should be a fun finish. I agree with you, Phil.
Now here's West. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way. 19 points for Josh Smith. Nash against Billups. Nash dishes to Kobe. Nash the pass to Jackson. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Kobe kicks to Gasol. Out to Kobe. Right through the shoulder that time. All net. Kobe's got 26 points. The Pistons have gone 7 of 9 from the field down the stretch here in the fourth quarter. Terrific shooting. Billups passes to West. They set the screen to the inside. Here's Drummond. It's held in by Los Angeles. Hill's got 7 rebounds in the game. Nash with it. Billups picks him up defensively. Nash kicks to Hill. On the wing, Kobe. Hill a screen on West. Now the pass to Nash. He feeds it to Jackson. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. Nash has got his 4th assist in this one.
And those are not the kind of three-point opportunities you can give to shooters in the NBA. These guys are just too good.
You're exactly right. It'll burn you every time, just like it's burning them here.
Really good offensive execution. Nice pick. Just couldn't get the shot to go.
Boy, you love to see that as a basketball purist. Guy setting a good screen and then getting the shot opportunity.
And Hill throws it down.
Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle.
And I also can't get over how much energy he expends rebounding the basketball. He goes all out on the boards every single night.
That's a blocking foul, and he'll shoot free throws.
What a game we've seen here for West. He's got 36 points, and the three-pointers have been dropping for him. He's got 3 of them.
Well, as long as he's continuing to make those, I think they should make him more of a focal point of this offense.
And both free throws good for West. Here's Nash. Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, they were getting tired out there. A quick timeout gives them an opportunity to catch their breath.
And he lobs it up toward the rim, and Kobe throws it down home.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
Yeah, what a beautiful connection on that play.
So here is West, following the basket by Kobe Bryant. It's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. Here's a look at the schedule for the Los Angeles Lakers. Following this one, they get to host the Warriors. And that'll be the 3rd of the 4 straight at home.
A lot of good games going on today, guys. And tell you one, the one that has my eye is the Golden State matchup.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. West dishes to Monroe. The shot's good on the assist by West. 14 points for Greg Monroe.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Nash the pass to Jackson. He kicks to Kobe. With the teardrop. But they get it back. Nash outside. Passes to Hill. Nash with the screen for Hill. Launches it. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Now a timeout called by Detroit. Kobe Bryant really making a difference here.
He's really taking it to him inside. They got to find a way to slow him down.
Pistons trail by 4. West a screen on Nash. Billups with the ball. Picked up by Kobe. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession. Lakers leading by 4. Nash outside. Dishes it to Kobe. And that one is stuffed right through. None of the defenders wanted anything Clark to do with him on that
And
jam.
I do not blame him at all, partner. He was coming in with a bunch of steam and was ready to posterize whoever decided to get in his way.
All right, I understand, fellas, but come on. You've got to challenge him a little bit at least.
So it's Detroit now. After the basket by the Lakers. 6 on the shot clock. Shot's good. 40 points for James.
He's really stepped it up this quarter. Looks like he's determined to get them out of this hole all by himself.
Gasol kicks to Kobe. Pass to Hill. Takes the 13-footer. Tries again. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Obvious foul.
Yeah, he took a hit right there and earned those free throws.
In a moment, he'll take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Lakers.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
And that's helped with their passing game, too, because they're getting a lot of assists by sharing the ball and moving it.
Phillips attacking. West down low. Guarded by Jackson. And the dunk by West.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
Well, that's how you send it. 2 hands and hammer it down.
Now here's Kobe. From the top of the key, he buries it. Kobe's got 32 points.
I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
Phillips dishes to West. Left side, West. Sinks it. And now they trail by just 4.
Not enough defense there to throw him off his shot. Sometimes it takes more than one defender on him down low.
Nash drawing the double team. Kobe gets to Gasol. Then low to Hill. No one. Great D that time from Drummond. Detroit's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th.
Crucial basket.
They needed it, and he gave it to them.
So, guys, it comes down to this.
Time, Kevin, for the stars to shine.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. And Kobe, here we go. West with the ball. That will count. Oh, that shot had a chance, but no good. So it's Los Angeles taking the W in the first. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. When it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
And that'll wrap it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan, and thanks for tuning in.
You were a rejection machine in tonight's game. How did it feel sending so many shots back the other way for the first time in your NBA career?
It was surreal, man. I was throwing back shots like they was hot potatoes. Let this serve as a warning to the rest of the league. You come into the paint on my court, you're gonna get stuffed. The beast has been unleashed.